Hello, this is going to be an experimental video showing step by step how to do graffiti letters in a very careful, planned way so that we can make beautiful art. So the first thing I did is I went in my notebook and counted the letters of the name I'm going to do. And since it's an odd number, I get to take that middle letter and center it. And then I'm going to build my letters lightly away from that center letter so that it's centered on my paper. So that's the technique I'm going to use for getting them spread out on my real paper. If it's an even number, then you're going to straddle the line with 2 letters to start and then work your way out. So the first thing I do on my nice paper is I am drawing like a ghost so lightly, maybe darker on here than you would in real life because the camera needs to pick it up, but here's my light line. I'm going to go even lighter because I think you can see it. It's halfway across my paper, which I'll show you is a little bit longer than the camera can see. My middle letter was an A, and I'm going to leave some room above the letter and below the letter, but I'm going to make it big. I'm going to make it capital. So I might have made that too large, but we'll see. Let's try another letter to the side. And your letters can be sort of close because then your graffiti style bubble letters will be really close and overlapping, and that's fun. So there's the center 3 letters of the name. Now I have to fit 2 more on the ends. If I were going to go back, I might do this smaller, but let's see how it works out because I is not too big. And then A, oh, and that's going off. And M. So I can see that if I want to go back or flip the paper over, I'm going to do it a little bit smaller than I did before. So let's do a flip over. Also, if you draw really lightly with pencil, it will erase really easily. So I'm going to go a little bit smaller. A, N, D, R, I, A over here, that's 1, 2, 3, and that fits better for sure. And since it's pencil, I can erase and fix 100 times, and that's actually good. I can even just go ahead and erase this middle line since it's pretty evenly split. Alright, now it's time to turn my letters into bubble letters. And you can start anywhere that you like, but I'll start here with the M. And the way I do that is big sausages on every stick, overlapping like they're resting on top of each other. From tip to tip, big sausages on every stick. For a curve, I can do 2 lines or even a curvy line. You can try different things. You want to make your letters for this project as big and bubbly as possible. The fatter, the better. So here again on a curve, I think I'm going to do 2 roundy bubbles. 1 on every stick. So what I can do now is go through with my pencil and darken the outsides so that I can erase the insides. Some people move right to marker for this, and I don't think you need to do that because you can do pencil first and make sure you're really only tracing what you need. So everything inside the letter is being erased. And only the outside of the letter is being traced, captured to the outside of your letter. And if you accidentally do something like this, where you're tracing the overlapping parts, this is your chance to go back and erase and fix that before you get to the marker. So inside of R's and O's and stuff like that, sometimes I even do a little cheat. Instead of tracing the inside, I just make a little tight hole like that. Here's another tight hole. And now I can do some really nice clean erasing of everything inside. And now that I have all the letters how I like them and the middle's erased, I can go through with my big black permanent marker and trace the outline. All right. And now it's time to get a little bit fancy with my letters. I'm going to do something called drop shadow, where I add dark black shadow under the letters. And there's even some pencil lines I'll end up covering up a little bit down here so I won't have to erase them. If you're ever not sure of where the drop shadow should go, you can get help from someone at your table, or the teacher can demonstrate in your journal. But the drop shadow adds a lot of pop to your letters, and it's also like a very popular graffiti style. All right, so that's the drop shadow, and you can always make it bigger than this. Mine's not too thick, but I have room to do more around the outside. I also see some places where I'd like to erase some pencil in here to make it nicer. And then I'm ready to do some more graffiti treatments to make these letters stylized. There's a couple different things you can choose from. And you don't have to do one that you don't like or you don't want to try, but you should try at least one of these. One thing you can try is called shine or highlight. The shine or the highlight is the part that is white and looks reflective, like something shines in the sun with a little sparkle on it. And it can really help your bubble letters look bubbly. And you can just do it with a white crayon. You can do it with a white crayon, and you can outline with a Sharpie. But I think I'm just going to use a white crayon today. And I'm going to choose each letter, upper left-hand corner, to do my shine. Make sure it's very clean under there. So, on my M, I'm going to do a white shine right here. You can't even see it, but you'll see it later on. On my I, I'm going to do my white shine right here in this corner. On my R, I'm going to do it right here. On my A, right there. On my N, right here. And right here. On my D, right here. And on my A, right there. I'm also going to do something called reflection, where you can add a nice little curvy shape with some detailed dots down at the bottom. And I'm just doing that down in the bottom part of all my letters. You don't have to do reflection, but it adds some interest to your graffiti letters by having these repeating shadows in so many places. So there's the reflection, and now I'm going to do a shell. It's like a candy coating across all your letters, and you just kind of bounce out along the outsides of your letters until you've completely encased them in a shell. And if you need to go off the paper a little bit, you totally can. Just pick back up where you come back onto the paper. And it's kind of a tight follow. I'm coating the same amount of space around the outside. So there it kind of went off, and that's A-okay. There. And now, even beyond that, I think I want to add what I call cloud curves. And it just means that I'm making nice little arc shapes. And you can do this with pencil first, so that the whole name looks like it's floating on a cloud. You could also do exploding lines.